Hello and welcome back to another in-up-other video, to our second video of Winter Storm Izzy coverage. Today we are talking about the timing for today's Winter Storm Izzy impacts, as well as deep south snow and ice, which typically cripples that region. So let's get right on into it on the European model today. And we are starting to see this storm kind of move into the northern tier of the country. And this is 1 a.m. on Friday, so before you are seeing this, but we are starting to see some moderate snowfall moving into North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. We are now moving into 7 Eastern, 6 Central, so right around you guys are seeing this video. So we continue to see this storm plummet into the mid-tier of the U.S., into areas such as Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, and this is right around Friday night. This is Friday around 7 Eastern, 6 Central, and then going into tomorrow morning, we will see this storm start to move and strengthen into Missouri, Kansas, southern Illinois, and even down into areas such as Arkansas and Oklahoma. But during the day tomorrow, we are going to be kind of skipping this fact because I do want to talk about it today more than tomorrow. We are talking about ice today. So, a few things you need to know about the South with snow and ice. And if you live in the South, you know this very well. The South and their infrastructure cannot handle any type of wintry precipitation. We have seen multiple storms with even a tenth of an inch of ice cripple entire states. I think it was Winter Storm Pax. I think this is close to 4 or 5 years ago that dropped a widespread tenth of an inch of ice across most of the South and crippled the entire region for a couple of days. So the infrastructure in the South is not very kind to wintry weather. So the amount of ice that we could see from this storm, since it is strong enough to pull up Gulf moisture and Atlantic moisture and combine them together with cold air set up by a very strong system that is moving up the East Coast today, 971 millibars on that, with the potential for hurricane force wind gusts out to sea there. So that's very impressive. But since we have that cold air in place, as well as heavy precipitation and a mid-level of the atmosphere, which is going to be above freezing, that is the perfect recipe for freezing rain, and a lot of it. So here's the NAM, which is not the exact same model, but pretty close, showing some areas of South Carolina getting an inch of freezing rain. So we're talking about a tenth of an inch crippling a region. An inch is going to basically, on the roads, zero traction. You're going to have a thick layer of ice on any untreated roads. Treated roads could be a little slick too, especially if they're not very well treated. Just a completely mess on the roads. Just stay off the roads if you're getting an inch of ice. Second of all, the weight of an inch of ice accumulating on trees, power lines, electrical poles is going to be so much that any sort of wind is going to start knocking over everything. So since we do have a fairly strong system here that could bring in a little bit of wind and now try and move those areas of iced trees, electrical poles, power lines, we are going to start to see a lot of power outages from this because of the fact that we are seeing electrical poles down, trees down on power lines falling apart. Just the weight of an inch of ice, even a tenth of an inch of ice could do that with some wind. So the fact that we are seeing not just a tenth of an inch of ice, but 10 times that is extremely dangerous for any of the areas. So in terms of ice totals, we are going to be seeing a widespread half an inch plus from areas such as northeast Georgia, western South Carolina, central parts of North Carolina, even into Virginia, as well as parts of Tennessee near Nashville could see an inch and a half of ice. then these areas in this lighter red could also see a 1/10 of an inch plus. So we're in that 1/10 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch range. This darker red is a 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch. So that's areas such as Columbia, South Carolina, areas near Wilmington, North Carolina is right on the edge there. Then we also have areas of southeast Kentucky, areas near Knoxville, Tennessee. So many areas getting impacted by ice. Even though this doesn't look like a widespread event, the pure amount of ice that could be falling or accumulating on every surface is so great that this is a major threat. And this probably would have named the winter storm by itself without any snow. So that's just how serious this is. So, quick update on the Northeast. I won't be making a full Northeast video until we have 100% confidence with this storm. But right now, the European-based models, such as the European model here, is showing a more coastally route of the low pressure, bringing areas closer to the coastline, such as southern Connecticut, areas of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey. More snow than American-based models, such as the NAM. Let me go over here to right here. So it's showing more of an inland route to that low pressure, bringing in more warm air and thus rain. So that discrepancy in the models will be the main thing that we do have to figure out before I post a full Northeast-based video. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss that video. That will be coming out whenever I am sure, on a prediction. But at the moment, things are in the air. But that is all the information that I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell. That's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.